Keep it up, you're doing incredibly well. Okay, so now we're going to look at the concept of costs, right? So we've spoken about it from a general concept, but now we need to understand that there are three different kinds of costs. The first one is obviously the concrete cost. That's the easiest one. You see, that's price. So generally, what happens is customers see your proposal and they look at it, you see, because if you haven't had the value conversation, you haven't shown them how your product will keep their plant running longer, how your sales training will optimize the performance that most or all of their salespeople will actually achieve their sales target. You see, that's what they want. They're buying what your product does, not what your product is. So concrete costs, as I said, price. Your product costs 5 Rand, my product costs 10 Rand, therefore I'm going to choose the competitor product because it appears to be cheaper. The concrete cost is cheaper. But you see, we need to start learning to have business, financial conversations with our customers because, you see, we're not the lowest cost producer. Well, if you are the lowest cost producer, fantastic. Then you can offer the lowest price and you won't go out of business. But most organizations are in the business of selling value. Most organizations understand that they sell premium products. They sell really valuable products. They sell incredible transformation, or should I rather say they sell better transformation, and therefore because they sell optimized or better transformation, they can expect a premium price. So that's concrete cost. The next cost is opportunity cost. Now opportunity cost, interesting one. This is, for example, when the plant breaks down and it takes 3 or 4 days for your competitor to get their plant up and running. Well, the opportunity cost there is lost income due to the plant being unable to manufacture. So every minute there's a cost. Every day there's a cost to the organization. So those are opportunity costs. So we need to speak, we need to look and explore our industry and understand by using our product or our service, what you're effectively going to do is you're going to be saving money. Instead of repairing this gearbox every 6 months, you're only going to need to, our maintenance cycle is not 6 months, it's 2 years. I mean, think about BMW. BMW offers minimum of 15,000 kilometers between their services. So what that means is there's less. Every time you have to take your car in to have it serviced, it's a day without your vehicle. So that's something they consider. Also, it shows the quality of the product. Our product is such high quality that you only need to service it every 15 to 20,000 Ks. And I think it is as long as 20,000 Ks. Imagine if you've got something, your competitor's product needs to be serviced, which requires it to be down for half a day. Well, your product only needs to be serviced every 2 years, which means there's 3 half days of production that are not lost. Can you see those? That's opportunity costs. That's value. When you can start having those conversations with your customers around value, our product will save you money because the service intervals are further apart, or you know your product. What does your product do better in more optimized fashion than your competitors? And then quantify that. So have a look at what does my product do better and how can I quantify that? Because when I can quantify things, it becomes a no-brainer. Now I see it's not, you see, generally most buyers make a decision based on the concrete costs. Yours costs this, mine costs that, and therefore we take the lower concrete cost. But when we can start learning to have these business or financial conversations where we talk about opportunity costs, we talk about cost savings due to the better performance of our product, the improved efficiency. Because don't forget, there also might be, your product might be more efficient. So therefore, it uses less electricity. So quantify that. Because your product's more efficient, how much less electricity? And I mean, that's becoming a real cost. Energy costs are huge costs to organizations. Next, you want to have a look at what we call qualitative costs. These are possible cost savings due to optimized people performance. So, Remember our product, less downtime. Now we're talking about improving efficiencies. Now, in my case, I often talk to qualitative costs. So qualitative costs are your salespeople have a direct fixed cost to your organization of, let's call an OB number 1,000 Rand, right? Or $1,000. It's a fixed cost. Every time, or as we support your sales team to get better results on a daily basis, that fixed cost, as you improve and as more and more of your salespeople achieve their sales targets, your fixed cost per unit, so your fixed cost stays the same, but you are earning additional income which will support you to cover those costs. So wherever there's your product or your service will make their team more efficient or effective, those are what we call qualitative costs. So think about your industry, think about your markets. What can your products, you might have maintenance contracts or something like that you could come in, and by taking certain roles or functions or maintenance functions away from their team, you're giving them more time to do other critical, crucial, important tasks. So really let your creative juices flow here. Think deeply. Well, I guess the toughest one is to say concrete costs. So from a concrete cost perspective, well, you can offer maybe a cheaper option. Maybe you've got a really high-tech, expensive option, and maybe you've got a slightly cheaper option, right? So maybe there is a way for you to move and reduce concrete costs. So don't rule that out, okay? As long as you're not just reducing the price for the sake of reducing the price, right? So concrete costs is the first place to look. Second place is those opportunity costs. So think about those opportunity costs. Where does your product or service perform optimally that you can show there's a cost saving to you because, for example, you only need to service our gearbox every 2 years. Your gearbox needs to be serviced every 6 months. Half a day to service, therefore you're actually saving 3 days or 3 half days. What is the cost of production for half a day? Boom, there's at least the opportunity cost. And then of course the qualitative cost. Look at your product or service and ask the question. So from a people perspective, what about our product, our service, or even introducing a service contract where we could show by us taking over this service function or this maintenance function in your organization, you'll have less downtime. Awesome. So that would then be an opportunity cost, but you will also have a qualitative cost in that the time we're going to save by us doing the maintenance, those people who are doing the maintenance can do other things. So think about those 3 different costs. What can you do, but not, as I said, just reducing the price for the sake of reducing the price because that's going to help you to close the sale.